Well, hello there, everybody. This is not a very typical music soundtrack for me to do anywhere ever, but Netflix's instrumentals are just so good that I couldn't not put them on here. Also, jump scare, we're gonna go away from the Netflix. I have the mini vandals, the little vandals, I don't know, playing for this section. Also, I forgot the backlight again. I just kind of I come home and I sit in the darkness for a while because I don't remember to put on the lights. So this is, it happens. I'm sorry. Hi, Zeka. I see you. I see you've been waiting patiently for me. Hi. How are we doing? How are you doing? How is everybody doing? Hi, B. I see you. Also, don't worry about that. I'm hungry, and I haven't had time to eat yet, because I've been doing several different things. So I'm now attempting to cut this sausage in half. We love it. We love to see it. I, again, ate an entire one, but this time, not in the span of an hour, but in the span of 2 or 3 days. That's 4. Free! Free fingers! What are you going to do, what are you guys doing on my screen? I'm sorry, you clicked on this stream, buddy. Nor. Yar. Yappy, hello! Hi, Helen! Sadly, it's not gonna be about, Genshin. Gotcha. Whatever. It's gonna not be about Genshin anymore because we've actually managed to get past all of them, but we're now moving on to everybody that isn't 2D, 3D animated, I think. I'm gonna actually look. I don't remember. Okay, so, no, wait, actually, we have 2, 3. Okay, we're not done yet. I forgot that there's some animated characters. Okay, we're not quite done yet, but there's gonna be a lot of characters in, real tangible 3D. Which is kind of technically my preferred, media consumption is, real actors sounds really bad, but like non-animated series. There we go. Because I don't have anything against animated series. Oftentimes I just can't get into it. Like I know One Piece is a great anime and everything, and also a great manga. I just cannot fathom to look at something that has such an atrocious art style. I'm sorry. I can watch Boku no Hero Academia because it's really good, and the art style is actually pretty nice. But, like, all of the exaggerated emotions kind of do go on my nerves a bunch, so, yeah. I can't watch a lot of anime that really pushes it, so I just watch select stuff, and currently it's Boku no Hero Academia. I'm in the middle of season 2 right now, middle of the sports festival. It's great. I'm having so many emotions about, like, them, like, figuring themselves out and shit. It's good. We love sausage. We love sausage at this house. Am I hearing One Piece slander? Yes. One Piece slander. Okay, listen. I watched the entirety, of the live action. Fucking amazing. I would continue watching every last single episode if it was live action, because I cannot, for the life of me, look at that art style in good conscience and actually motherfucking watch it with a straight face and serious and actually get any of the plot. Because it is just so obnoxiously, weirdly proportioned, especially for the women, that I cannot, for the life of me, consider even watching it. I'm sorry. You can watch the 1,038 fucking episodes of One Piece animated on the webs. I will not. I will watch the live action again because they're fantastic. Great actors, actual human proportions. I'm in heaven. Thank you. Oh, you would love Ace, Juno. I figure I would. I'm just looking, like, at, like, this window that I have, like, right over here, actually, of all of the characters, and I'm just looking at them, I was like, of course I would love Ace, just looking at this window of characters. Damn, Helen having to listen through the One Piece slander. I'm sorry. The style gets better. Does it? Are you sure? Art gets better after 600 episodes. Yeah, see? Progress gets made more than halfway into the entire series, and you expect me to watch 600 episodes for the potential of the art style getting a little bit better. Fuck off. Respectively. I love you. Go watch your series. You cannot get me there with 10 horses. Juno, I'll find a way to make you enjoy the one. I enjoy One Piece! The live action version. Sorry. It's the same kind of plot from what I've heard. Just condensed. And less. And also just human proportions. Please, please do not make me watch something where the tits are bigger than the hips. Don't make me watch something where the neck is thicker than their waistline. Do not! Also, hi, Evan. One Pace exists, and it's super duper quick. Super duper quick, as in 800 episodes instead of 1,000. I've heard about One Pace. I've considered it, and then I deconsidered it. And then stop indoctrinating people into One Piece. I like the one. Again, I like the plot, the execution, and the characters and everybody from the live action because they're really good. And I can fully understand why people love One Piece so much. Having watched the live action, I will not, however, watch any of the animated shit. I'm sorry. I cannot. This is against my morals. The creator of One Piece made them like that because, I quote, I don't know how to draw women. Great! Learn it and then make a new anime and then I might watch it. Sorry, I can't. I do not care. If you can't draw women, don't draw women. Make a male anime manga. If you don't care to draw women correctly or with any amount of organs still intact that they don't look like aliens, if you can't and won't do that, and won't learn I do not care about it. I do not want to watch women look like that. Sorry. No amount of me being bisexual will fix that. Sorry. I'll make you reconsider. Good luck. We would have been asimps besties. If he will probably show up in live action, and then I will be a simp with you across medias, I suppose. Also, hello, Juno. You look lovely today. Thank you. I try. Actually, they're gonna make a remake One Piece starting 2025. Well, maybe you can get me in it then. But until then, I will stick to the live action, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Yay! Quick rant to boost things off, I suppose. Nom 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 nom. I underestimated how much chewing that bite was. Sorry. We are. Do I have Luffy on there? I forgot. I mean, he's not a blorbo. He's just a character I like a lot. In the set media. Okay, I'm gonna open you up. Oh god, there's so many. I mean, it's not that many. It's just a lot of stuff I'm gonna talk about. I mean, the next few are loaded. It's just gonna take me a little while to get up with it because fucking it's been so long since I've watched The 100 or Stranger Things for that matter. I can talk about Inej, Nikolai Lantsov, fucking the Darkling, Kaz for hours on end. But like Eddie Munson, I may have written a 13,000 word document about a self-insert fanfiction about this guy. That's never gonna see the light of day. Don't even try. Because I'm embarrassed about it. Don't worry about it. That just will stay in my docs. Don't worry about it. I may have, but it's gonna take like at least 10 minutes. Okay, that's maybe a bit much. 2 to 5 minutes for me to get riled up enough to remember all of the shit about this guy. My internal library needs to be like booted up to get all of the things done because it's just been so long. But yeah. Hello, what are we talking about? Everything! So I'm gonna just be brief mentions too. I could never be like, here, have 30 minutes of me yapping about this random Genshin character, and then have like 2 words to say about someone who might have meant exactly the same to me like 2 or 3 years ago. I cannot let that slide. Equality, babies. Equality! Anyways. Well, equity. Equality? Equity? Whatever. We'll figure it out. I'll get there. I mean, oh god, it's so many things. I mean, I have it's kind of funny. I have an entire ship on there as a blorbo because they are my Roman Empire. Technically, I have 2 of that. Sorry, I should not put that on screen. I just keep holding it and putting it everywhere. The weapon of choice. 12-hour blobber stream. I can't because I have to go to work tomorrow at 5. I need to drive to it. I start work at 6. I need to start driving at 5. Need to be up by 4. Can't do that. Sorry, man. Okay, first cartoon crush. There's a tier list coming, baby. Please. Tier list. We're not doing questions. I also don't know who my first cartoon crush was because I have no memory of my childhood except for like 5 core memories and that's it. Sorry. First cartoon crush. What the fuck? What is my first? Fuck if I know, dude. Is Red Bull gonna get added to the list? I don't drink it. That's not my blorbo. My blorbo would maybe be this, but that's also not true. Monster Energy versus Red Bull. That's not on the list! I'm making a monster spreadsheet right now. Hell yeah. I want to see it later. Here, my hair begins. Anyways. We're gonna go over. We're gonna go over. There's things Look, we're in the expanse of gray. It's gonna be great. So this is where we left off last time. This is the entire thing, if you care. There we go. We have would date if they were real, holds gently, simp, kin, because they're two different things, hot and vaguely problematic, and of course the morbid fascination, which I think this might be like 2 characters, maybe 3, of this entire 50 character spreadsheet. So we'll see. I don't have a lot of characters where I'm like, I don't even know why I'm into that guy. Like, there's one I know for sure, which we will get to. Where, actually? Where are you? In the middle here, I think. Yeah, there you are. Yes, Trash Prince Supreme. I mean, we also have my other Trash Prince Supreme, but he's not necessarily morbid fascination. He's, like, actually just normal morbid fascination. Like, just normal fascination. Also, where is my music? I had music somewhere. Give me a moment. You? There we go. Beautiful. Anyways. Time bombarded Juno with questions in order to delay the stream. How dare you? I've already delayed it by a week. I'm sorry. Gotta Google how to make spreadsheets. Not ugly, Lamau. Real. Child is in 3 tiers, Lamau. Shut up, STS. I just like him a lot. Fuck off. Shouldn't be too hard, Zeka. Yeah, well, you know, spreadsheet making is hard, I would say. But, you know, I know Zeka is an amazing artist, so he'll do his best. Anyways, the next character on our list, actually, is, I'm gonna zoom in because I know, he's not that big, is he? Keep, okay! I didn't expect him to be this big, but I guess, that works. Lol, shush. Anyways. Eddie Munson, behind bars, apparently. Sorry, I'll shrink you a little bit. You need to be shrunk anyways. Shrink, my dude. There you go. Just cover up the boys. This guy. Wait, no. This guy. Woo! Scale. Him. I wrote 13,000 words. 13,000. About this guy. I made... at least... No, I didn't even make fan art of him. Only in my brain. I've made like 10 fan arts in my brain. Actually, I did. In somewhere in one of my notebooks, I've made like 3 separate fan arts of this guy. Tiny doodles. But, fuck. So, I've been vocally attacked? Yes. Eddie Munson. Big. Yes. Munson. With a U. Eddie Munson. My guy, my dude, the only guy ever, actually. No, that's a lie. There's more guys in the world. Especially on the spreadsheet. I mean, fuck. There's a Latham on there. He's the only guy in the world. Anyways, him. I don't even know, which season was that? Season 5? Or, god, see? This is already where I end. Okay. Sorry, gotta go over this. Eddie Munson. Which season were you in? I forgot. 4th. 5th season is only coming out. Boycott that, by the way. The creator guy and some of the actors are Zionists. Don't, just yo-ho it if you really need to. Anyways. But before that, I did watch it on the Netflix, you know, because at that point they were still fine, but now they're not. Anyways, him, creator of the Hellfire Club, D&D nerd extraordinaire, Eddie Munson, was introduced in season 4, stayed for 1 season, and, you know, spoiler alert, he dies at the end, because of course he does. He might have a reappearance in, like, flashbacks. They're, like, casting him for young Eddie in the next one. But I don't know if he'll ever come back, and it's such a waste because he was a fantastic character with a great arc, and I think from the moment they were on the field making war crime weapons, like a sawed-off shotgun and shields with spikes on it, and he talked to Dustin, I knew he was a goner. He said one thing and I forgot about it, but he said one sentence and he looked a certain way and I knew he was a goner from that point on. That was like hours from the ending. Well, an hour and a half from the end. And I knew he was dead. Can we post Blorbo in your Discord, Joestar? Jesus, yes. You can do that. Yes. You can do it in stream discussion if you want. And also they filmed an actual World War II camps in previous seasons and weird problematic shit for a while. Oh yeah, I didn't even, like, I only kept up with fucking the, God, what's his face? The main guy just doing, like, the Zionism is sexy kind of shit, and, from then on it was like, okay, disappointment. Disappointment! Only ever watched season 1 of the show, I think also long ago. Valid. Hi Vita! Being the bugs yet? No. I'm very excited to see what the bugs are all about. Okay. Anyways, where was I even? Yeah, death. He dies. But he has an amazing, like, storyline as well. They have, like, some characters like Bob in season 3, 2, I don't even know. I think it was 2, could have been 3. Where they only stay for like about a season and then get killed off by the end for shock value, which is unfortunate, but it is a theme, so I was kind of like expecting it, but I was also like watching it as it came out, like every weekend episode, and I think so at least, and it was just, God, the torture of seeing him die. Oh God. I'm losing my train of thought because I'm thinking about Honkai again. Stop talking about it. I need to, like, focus. What series is this? This is Stranger Things. Please do, not watch it on Netflix. Do watch it on a Yoho, we are all on this boat together site, maybe. If you do want to watch it. Because the creators are, like, the creator, one of the lead actors, and some other people are Zionists, generally just problematic people, so do make sure that you watch it somewhere that isn't an official site. Wink. I winked with both eyes. That's a double wink for you. Very sexy. Anyways. Yeah, people started boycotting with season 4 because of that, and Millie Bobby Brown getting a tattoo that is inspired by Holocaust survivors, etc. Quite a bit of anti-Semitism in general. Yes. Why not Netflix? Because it is an official site that gives the creators of the series money. Lamau, according to the writers, they regret filming Chrissy's death scene before all the others because it turns out him and Chrissy had incredible on-screen chemistry and wish to expand on that. For sure, yeah. Like, they had so much chemistry together. It's a shame she died first. Like, God, like this scene, this white blob you may be able to just, like, ascertain, that is Chrissy. That is Chrissy, she's in that frame, and he's like, ah, God, I need to, like, get back into my storytelling. Because I'm all over the place with the storytelling right now. I'm so sorry. But I don't know, like, where he starts out as. God, so Eddie is one of the upperclassmen. He is technically supposed to have already graduated a while ago, but he's been set back because of his bad grades, possibly like ADHD stuff as well, like some kind of like disability in that sense might play into it. He is one of the people in the 80s who was very much into heavy metal and like fuck Black Sabbath, Motorhead, fucking something, Iron Maiden, like Iron Maiden for sure, Metallica. He literally plays, Master of Puppets, in one of the end boss battle scenes, like fucking, chef's kiss. He has a really cool guitar. He's doing great. I love him to bits. So, the Hellfire Club is, as you can maybe see by the dice on the shirt, it's a D&D club that he leads. As an upperclassman, he also DMs. It's like a really fun scene, like he's on the throne as the DM. They're having so much fun, it's really cute. Chrissy, wake up. That's actually my alarm sound still, so there's that. Also, I keep swiveling around, but this is my way of thinking, so like, leave me alone. But yeah, so, he's an upperclassman, hangs out with, like, the lower classmen, I guess. So, Dustin, what's-his-face bowl cut, and 2 others from, like, Eddie's class, I think. Like, current class, this doesn't mean that they were in his class when he was supposed to graduate. I think these are just people in the class that he's currently in while he's trying to graduate for, like, maybe the 3rd time. He has an awesome big bus kind of situation. He's also, by the way, a drug dealer. He sells weed, ketamine, whatever the fuck, everything he can get his hands on. He is a school, park? School thingy. God, this is like behind the school. He sells drugs. Cassie. Not Cassie. Hi, Cassie. If you're there, hi. Chrissy. There we go. Double S as well. Chrissy is trying to buy weed off of him. Technically, she's trying to get something stronger, which then ends up with her joining him on his way home, where he's trying, like, where he's getting her, like, ketamine, but then before he can get her the ketamine, she is actually already hovering in the air and gets killed by her dream monster, which is also the one of the guys. I forgot who. One of them. The villain guy. Blondie. Him. So she dies. Yes. Very unfortunate. Would have loved to see more of her and Eddie. But again, death is inevitable in this series, and they just really fumbled this dynamic, truly. Steam freely. I will steam so freely, dude. But yeah, I really like his character. He's really cheery. He's really, really funny. His entire, like, first scene, like, especially his scene with Chrissy made me love this guy so much. I probably started weeping a little bit. Cause he's so funny. Like, they have, like, a whole scene. I can't quote it correctly. I already know this. But essentially, they talk, and he's like, oh yeah, you don't remember me, do you? She's like, no, I'm sorry. And then he just does a little, like, hands over his heart, and, like, leans back, and it's like, oh, I didn't think you'd remember me anyways, and, like, goes over the bench backwards. And then he, like, kind of, like, hints at some things, like, oh my god, yeah, like, you wouldn't remember me either way. I mean, I had my hair buzzed, and I was in a band, and then she, like, completes it for him. It's like, oh yeah, like, Corroded Coffin, your band. And they, like, reminisce about the fact that in middle school at some point, they were in the same, like, talent show. She was doing her cheerleading routine, and he was there with his band, Corroded Coffin. You know, metal band, youngsters. It's really fun. Also very interesting that he had his hair buzzed. A lot of people were like, oh my god, was he actually one of the people who actually has powers like 11 and such and such? But no. Most likely not either way. Like, he doesn't. The correlation with, oh, he also had his hair buzzed, I think also kind of, like, goes out the window when you realize that not a lot of the other characters in the facility have buzzed hair. So there's that. Here's a series I recommend. Zero's Tea Time. Okay. I don't know. I am currently watching, like, maybe 2 things, so I don't know if I can actually grasp some new ideals, new things, so I might shelf that for way later. Detective Conan's been out about a triple agent who is a government agent undercover in criminal organization with the cover life of a guy who works at the cafe. Downside, you need to be somewhat familiar with the character. Pretty good, though. I'll see about it, but I don't think I can take any recommendations right now because I'm, like, stock full of shit and I don't have time. I don't have time to go through everything. I can barely go through literally just rewatching a series I've watched before. And that is already hard, you know? So I don't think I'll be watching it, but thank you for the recommendation. I might look into it, but I can't make any promises. I'm sorry. Back to this guy, though. He has a whole thing... God, where was I even? That threw me off. Anyways, they have a little, like, reminiscent session. It's really fun. He's like, oh yeah, I'll give you a discount. Like, instead of this, it's this now. And, they have a really great dynamic, and I really do love, how they've executed that kind of thing. And also, Chrissy, coming back to his place and them having like this little banter back and forth, and it's really fun. He also lives with his uncle. I don't even know if his parents are still alive. I can't remember if that was mentioned or not. I don't think it was mentioned. But essentially, he lives with his uncle. He actually, funny thing, actually, I didn't do fan art of him. I did make him in The Sims, and I also made his entire trailer in The Sims. Because I had a very intense phase of, like, maybe a week where I calculated, measured out, and just looked at every single frame that was available to me at the time of the inside of the trailer. Behind the scenes footage. I was eating that shit up. Any kind of scene where you could see the inside of the trailer, I mapped it out, made a floor plan, and then I made it in The Sims. As closely as I could, because, you know, a lot of it you don't have in The Sims that he has. So I was just kind of, like, doing my best, and it is actually on the channel. I have one video of making him as a Sim, and I have one of making the trailer as best I can. That stream was fun. Yeah, it was a lot, and it was very early on, actually, so it is, you know, reminiscence. And actually one of the videos that got the most views ever, so that's really, really funny to me. And as Barbarians come out, it's, yeah. But it was really, really fun. Yeah, I really do enjoy his character. Oh, God. There's some jumps here and there. Of course, finding the corpse of Chrissy in his trailer. Essentially, like, he fled the scene after seeing her, like, contort in the air and die. Which is fair. I would, too. And then news spread about him fleeing the scene, and everybody thinks he's the murderer. He's not. Obviously. They think he's a twisted up motherfucker because a lot of people, like, you know, it's the 80s. Everybody's, like, screaming, painting devils on the walls, and it's like, oh my god, D&D, it's the devil, metal music, it's the devil, oh my god, no! And, he's essentially, like, just the scapegoat of the village and being, like, the odd one out and everything. My little outcast, I love you. And everybody's, like, pinpointing the murder on him, and all of the parents who know that their kids are hanging out with him and doing, like, having D&D sessions are like, oh my god, don't hang out with this guy. The jock guy, who was the, boyfriend of the girl, is out on an all-out manhunt about his girlfriend, because he was, like, fucking drunk off his ass that night that she died, and, then only realized in the morning that his girlfriend's dead, so then he goes on a literal manhunt to get to Eddie. Eddie is, like, hiding in his uncle's, or drug dealer's, I don't know, someone's house. And, god, there's, like, so much shit going on, with, like, the upside down and everything, but he has a whole thing about running away from things, which then gets mirrored at the end, like, much later, because you get, like, a very small amount of screen time of him, actually, because he's, like, constantly in hiding. And, you know, the series isn't actually about him, even though I really would want it to be like that. Anyways, at some point, He's also in the inner world with Steve. A lot of people fucking ship Steady. It's so fucking cute. Like, because at some point, I mean, he is pretty much like headcanon as at least bisexual in this sense, which is fun in a way. And a lot of people have been like, oh my god, he's so gay around Steve. It's really funny. And like him and Robin being like queer besties, because Robin is a canon lesbian. People are like, oh my god, he's a homosexual. They're like gay and lesbian, like, what's it called? Fuck. Not relatability. Dynamics? No. Companionship? I don't know. Like, they're just besties. They're queer besties and it's cute. But fuck, yeah, he's cool. He's cool like that. They're in the Upside Down. They're running around. He's got his bandana on. He's got his fucking spiked bat like Steve did. The Steady art is so cute. It is. God, they're so cute. I really like their dynamic either way. But towards the end, when they're like, oh yeah, okay, we need to do boss battle. We need to, like, draw out the fucking demobats or whatever the fuck they're called now. He does this epic performance on the roof of the Upside Down trailer, with his guitar, playing Master of Puppets, which is just fucking awesome. And then they have to run, they have to go. And he's like, okay, I'm not gonna run anymore. And then he charges out, bat in hand, shield in hand, and gets as many of the demobats out with him as possible, but in turn also loses his life. And one of his last, like, sentences, one of his last words is, I didn't run this time, which is a really great, like, ending to a story. Like, it was a great way that it ended, but I'm very sad that it did, either way. A very memorable character for sure, and I do really, really like him, and he played a great role, a great part, Jesus Christ, a great part, there we go. And, I have his shirt, I think, still somewhere. Yes, MLM and WLW Alliance, yes. Me gathering information, yes. But yes, all in all, I think most of the time it was just, he is very much in this tier. I'm gonna have to actually shrink this shit down at some point. God, it's gonna get crowded. Go here. But also, technically, he's in Hold Gently. Which is, you know, yeah, not problematic in the slightest. So that tracks, that works. Either way, we're moving on. There's more. Swiftly moving on. Them. My Roman Empire, number the 2nd. These people are from the 100. This hotshot over here, this is Bellamy Blake. The blonde over to the side, that is Clark Griffin. I keep getting, like, confused because Clark in my head is a last name, so I'm like, what the fuck is her first name then? Clark Griffin, full name. But wait, there's more people. I don't know. Fair. My favorites. My Roman Empire. My babes. I love them so much because they have a fucking fantastic power couple dynamic while not actually being a thing in the series. At all terms and accounts, they should be. So this constant one, my Blorbo is their relationship. Technically, Bellamy is on here as well as a Blorbo, but he comes after this for reasons we know, and he's just going to be in the sim tier, honestly. But this dynamic is my Blorbo. It is my Roman Empire. I could make an entire new tier, just be like, this is my Roman Empire, because I think about this so often. I know the 100, only saw a few episodes though, that's fine. Lots of their dynamic really only happens in the later seasons, but not the last two, because the last two are bullshit and I do not accept them. That is why I haven't watched them yet. I've just seen things and been like, no, and left. I haven't even watched them actually getting back to Earth because I couldn't handle it. The fact that they left her, or they had to, was already enough. I'm sorry. Then she becomes a mom to a random kid. They come back. This guy's with another. I'm just... A lot of things happen that I do not accept as canon, so... Bleh. The bisexual agenda is showing them together. My favorite sandwich. I mean, fucking here. Jill and Carlos together. Also great sandwich. Not my Roman Empire, but close enough. Similar dynamic even. Like Jill as Clark and Carlos as Bellamy. Works, but only slightly. Because in the first season, Bellamy is such a dick. He's such an asshole. I want to choke the life out of this fucking brat. But he still shows the kind of like character attributes that I do really admire about him in later seasons. Bellamy Blake exists as a character of... God, he's an older brother of Octavia Blake. His entire thing is that he is the oldest son of a mother. I forgot her name. I don't think it's mentioned. On a ship in space, I think a century after the world went up in nuclear war and it was made essentially unlivable. So they are now, I think, not a century, a millennia, I think. Like they are in 31,040, I don't even know. I could look that up. They are far in the future, either way. When does the 100 season 1 take place? In the series, season 1 starts when the 100 were sent to Earth on Saturday, September 13th. Okay, not 31,000, but 21,049. So it is a while after now. Ever seen American Dad episode 200? Has nothing to do with the series or other than the title and it's post-apocalyptic. Hell yeah. I haven't watched it. I don't watch American Dad. Sorry. Anyways, moving on. This guy. These guys, actually. They are... So, he is the eldest son of a mother on this spaceship. And the rule is you can only have one kid because there's only so much space, there's only so much oxygen, and there's only so much food. Right? Rations. Space. Not a lot of regeneration stuff. And if you have like 1,000 or more people on the ship, you can't have many children. So, the mother has another kid, Octavia, and they have to hide her in the apartment cubby where they live. They have a little apartment cubby. And there, Bellamy takes care of Octavia, is a great older brother, very protective, very possessive, like, don't touch my little sister kind of situation. You know, detrimental sometimes, but he has to learn to let her go. Like, he is acting like more of a father figure than a brother figure, but it mixes, the lines blur. Either way, he does read her the Iliad, which is really fucking cute. Like, that gets, like, mentioned a bunch of times, that Octavia, I think even that she was named after Octavius, which is really fun. They read the Iliad together. I think he read it to her. That's, like, their whole thing, like, is also about the Iliad. Like, just having that as, like, a connection. It's really cute. They are very great. Octavia is also a badass motherfucker in the other series, like the later seasons, so mwah. Is that Bellamy and Clark? Yes, my boy, I love him so much. New Helen lore unlocked, truly. But yeah, so he exists on the ship, and so does Clark. He is, I think, I don't even remember, it's literally been like 5 years. I watched this series back when I did my Landwirtschaftspraktikum in my 9th grade, which then in turn means that was 2018 when I watched it. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 6 years. It's been a while. Sorry. It's been a while. That is a book to decide to read, but love that. Fair. I mean, they probably didn't have access to a lot more, but, you know. it's been a while, so I don't remember the pilot very well. It's been long. Anyways, so I think he is initially also already, like, one of the, like, officers on board, and shit and stuff, and he is also at a party that they have, and I don't know what the party's about, I just know they have a party, and she sneaks onto the party with a mask. There's a masked ball, and that's the only reason why she was like, okay, I can do this. So she goes out, has not been socialized other than her mother and her brother. There's no people she's ever talked to besides her brother and her mother. So it's kind of pretty quickly, like, people kind of catch on that interact with her. It was like, oh my god, what the fuck are you? And he gets kind of angry. Like, I don't know. This is not, I don't want to recap the pilot, but, like, they have a whole dynamic. Anyways, so, to get, oh yeah, I mean, it is kind of important because she kind of gets arrested, and 100 from the younger, like, generation of, like, prisoners on this spaceship get sent down to Earth to see if it is, again, inhabitable, because things are running low. There's a whole scene about people, like, an entire wing of people. There's, like, 100, 200 people in there. Fathers, daughters, like, adults, people who are getting killed in this space station because they're running out of resources. It is insanity. So they're like, okay, we gotta get rid of another 100, so why don't we send them down to Earth to see if it's still inhabitable? However, they sent down a bunch of 15 to 21-year-olds, so why? That is bound to go wrong. You fucking idiots. But anyways, they go down there, and Bellamy kind of does a... like, he goes against one of his, like, superior officers to get also on this ship to go down the Earth, because he also has to be a criminal to get onto that ship, because he has to have gone against the law. Clark is the daughter of one of the upper standing people. Like, her mother was a doctor. She's trying to be a doctor. She's very much the brain of the operation, while he is the heart. Love that kind of dynamic. Shit's great. They actually, like, mention that as well, like, in the very last season, that they're actually still together, before he goes into space and she has to stay on Earth because of a very unfortunate incident with the ships, where she misses the trip up to space. We'll get to that. That he mentions, or she mentions, that he is the heart and that's all he needs, and they have, like, this very cute moment, like, both in spacesuits, and he's like, but we need to have what's in there too, and, like, taps her on the head, indicating her brain, and it's just, she is very smart, so is he, but he's not as smart, and he is also very much, like, heart and intuition and instinct oriented, while she's very much intellect, brain oriented, and just very logical. She's also canon bisexual, by the way. She does have on-screen sex with a woman. Twice. Might I add. Twice. But she's also, oh yeah, and she has sex once with a guy. So there's that. I think once. Was it also twice? I don't know. No equality, but we love the lesbians. Anyways. She also snags, like, 2, like, really, like, tops. It's like, yay. Slay queen. Anyways. I don't even know, he is like a fuckboy in season 1. And he gets better, though. He gets better. Good dynamic, yes. Yes! Yes! And there's, like, sure, like, they go head-to-head a little bit, but they are essentially the unofficial, official leaders of this, like, group of ragtag bandits, essentially. So they land on Earth, everybody just goes ballistic. They get, like, I don't know, wristbands, neckbands, I don't even know what they get, but, like, some kind of monitor to see what their vitals are. A lot of people take them off to be like, fuck authority, which is real. And Clark, whose mother designed those, like, bands to keep them alive and stuff, and, like, see what they do and whatever, and, like, see what their vitals are, essentially. is like, I'm not taking this off over my dead body. And that's the first time where Bellamy calls her princess, and it becomes a, like, not a running gag, but a running nickname, where he calls her princess because he is not as, like, high-ranked as she is, and her being essentially the daughter of one of the, quote-unquote, politicians of this, like, place, of the space station, means that she gets mocked for it, which is, you know, that dynamic of, like, not necessarily harmful, but kind of, like, mocking nicknames is also just chef's kiss. Like, he just keeps calling her princess, but it morphs. Like, from the beginning on, it is kind of like, oh yeah, princess. It's kind of like a derogatory term, even. But it turns and turns and turns and turns until he, I mean, at the end, he doesn't, I think, call her that anymore, but at some point, it gets softer, and it gets cuter, and everything, and, I think at some point, I even cried a little bit. I went for the suffix, for sure. Yeah, it's, oh, God, I love their dynamics so much, I'm so sorry, God! But essentially, a lot of it stems from their mutual respect for each other that gets built over time, because at the beginning he's kind of like, oh my god, we love chaos, fuck off, let's go have booze with moonshine and just fucking go wild, I guess, long reign chaos and disorder. And she's like, no, order, we need rules. So they do kind of like butt heads a lot, but then there's scenes like who gets to go onto the space station, and she's the one making the list, and there's a moment where they're both sitting in this new base, just much later, like season 2 or 3, but they're both sitting there, he's fast asleep, and she's making the list of people who get to go somewhere where it's safe, probably the space station, I can't even remember, and who stays behind, and she puts him on the list of people who go up to space, and then I think at some point it happens that he crosses his name out and puts her name instead. So there's this mutual, like, respect, understanding, protectiveness of each other, which is just, God, like, in that same, I don't know, in that same season, I think, there's also a very emotional goodbye hug. They have that a lot. They have a lot of great hugs that I've just been looking at and yearning for forever. So they're... Fun fact, by the way, in the books, they were actually a thing. Only on screen, they weren't. Do you want to know another fun fact? The characters might not have been together, but do you know who was together? They're actors. They have been married since the series ended, I think. When was that? Fuck if I know. Both of them, Bob Morley and fuck me, I don't know her name anymore. But they are both married, have been doing cooking videos all throughout Corona, just having the time of their lives. It was great. What is your name? Eliza Taylor. She's also a great actress. Mwah, love her. Excuse me, Lamau. Excuse me, princess. That's so cute. Did they meet on set? Yes. Yes, I'm pretty sure they did. And I think a lot of the characters, like, chemistry also comes from the fact that they were probably crushing on each other on set, which is really fun. So they had a lot of emotional moments together, which I just... ate the fuck up, people. I ate it the fuck up. It was so good. A lot of, like, very emotional moments about... They had to do a decision of essentially killing an entire bunker of people who were in a very weird cult, by the way. I think it was justified, but I don't remember, so don't at me about that. But... oh yeah, they were also, like, literally extracting the blood from outsiders to use, to transfuse to actually get used to the radiation outside. Both of them were, like, in space, so they're used to the radiation, and could survive on the planet because they've adapted to said radiation. so they can survive. They have no issues, but all of the people inside of this bunker would have died if they got outside, if they got to that air, because they would die of radiation poisoning. Either way, they had to kill all of them, and there was a really hard decision, and essentially Clark was the one doing the lever thing, and he helped her, like he put his hand on hers and put the lever back, and they were like having this kind of moment of like, I am supporting you, I will support you in everything you do. And yeah, like there's one of my favorite scenes of them is like when they see that they're both alive after, I don't even know, an attack or anything. I don't know if it was season 1, season 2, somewhere in there. Like Clark is talking to Octavia and they're having like a little chat, and then no, wait, Octavia is talking to Bellamy, and I think, yeah, Clark comes running realizing that Bellamy is still alive, and then they just kind of crash into each other and have this very long hug, while Octavia just stands by the side and is like, here's something I thought I'd never see. Because they like just butt heads so much at the beginning, but then this kind of mutual like respect blossoms, and they respect each other as co-leaders of this entire group, and it's just a fucking great dynamic, because having these two very powerful people together and mix in a way that is just, I can't really put it into words without you having watched it and understanding it, because I can only give you so much because of my limited memory capacity. But believe me, they have the greatest dynamic out there, and I keep just seeing this dynamic replicated everywhere. Like, Inej and Kaz, Jill and Carlos, a lot of those are, like, really my favorite kind of, like, dynamics and kind of couples as Blorbos, as Roman empires. Fucking Keyleth and Vax, same thing. Well, not same thing, but, like, it's similar enough where I can categorize it into the same category in general. It's just having two powerhouses like this work together in this way and have such an interesting dynamic that also just still kind of is on uneven footing sometimes. They have a really emotional, like, apology scene where at least one of them cries, and they have such fucking great hugs. I cannot stress enough how great their hugs are, okay? There's, like, literally, like, hand on the back of the neck, cradling so tightly, having so many tears in their eyes. Just the comfort that it radiates is so great that I have just been essentially weeping looking at them. So don't judge me, please. I swear to God, I'm normal. But their dynamic means so much to me. Like, he cares about her so much, and she cares about him so much. God, like, they have such great dynamics. I'm sorry, I'm remembering all of the quotes. It's like, she just goes, just a moment ago, they were willing to go and, like, fight and die for you. And he replies, like, yeah, but, like, I couldn't hold them like you could. Like, they have just such a great, like, I can't quote it correctly, and that's why it sounds so lame, but, like, they have great dynamics, okay? They're both great leaders. They're like the fucking parents of the group. They're so good, man. God. Today, woman yearns for hugs. Shut up! Would never judge you for this. That's fair, thank you. But just, I love them so much, you do not understand. You will never understand how much I love them. The Roman Empire times 10. This is the dynamic that I would go to the grave for. I would die for this. Anyways, they're great. I love them so much. They go into Hold Gently. I mean, I do also sim for them, but I mean, I could just put them down there, couldn't I? Okay. Hold so gently. Hold so gently. I'll just move you there, because we don't have a lot of space. Both of them, we can duplicate you, and I will put you into the sim tier as well. There you go. Scale it. Yes. Great. You've also heard me talk about him. Now, Bellamy. And he gets an extra spot as well. because of his bloody face. He gets an extra spot right there underneath Jill's boobs. He's just hot, okay? He's very hot. He's also so cute. He's got the cutest freckles. The greatest puppy dog eyes. Even when he murders with his bare hands and calls himself a monster. I've seen so much angst about this guy. I want to hug him so bad. The way he hugs Clark. Just to tell him that he's okay. But, like, only until, like, season 5. I don't even know what after that goes on. Like, he starts out as this massive fucking asshole. And just goes over and becomes the massivest fucking puppy dog, essentially. The cutest motherfucker alive. I love him so much. He's got such a strong moral code. He loves and protects his sister a little bit too much, but, you know, God. And the violence, you know, is just a sprinkle of greatness over all of it. He cares a lot. He has a lot of great lines. I would rewatch the series just for him, but it's also a lot of seasons, and I don't have any fucking time. And it's like the American blockbuster series of like 45 minutes an episode, and I just don't have time for that. Sorry. Jill is an awesome character. Absolutely she is. 100%. Absolutely agree. Bellamy Blake. Now, from this awesome sauce of a thing, we move on to Blorbo number 3. Trash Prince Supreme, as I would like to call him. He is a rat, a cockroach, a fucking someone who survives by backstabbing and insulting everybody everywhere he gets. He got, oh God, he had a whole scene, which is fantastically acted out, by the way. So, this is John Murphy, just called Murphy most of the time, or Murph. Great character dynamics with, for example, Raven, or Bellamy, or Finn. Finn, however, is a scumbag, and he can go float himself. Anyways, he doesn't actually get floated in real life with a lot of blood, but you know. Bellamy, as hot as Jill's boobs. Yes. John Murph. Again, scum of the earth, but also likable. Let me explain. I don't think I can convince you, but like, he held a special place in my heart. Especially because he's also an incredibly angsty character, and that's why I like him so much. I'm sorry. He goes into a bunker and almost... He has like a whole montage where he essentially goes almost insane over the span of a few months. Grows his hair out and everything. And by the end, almost cancels his subscription on life. He has the gun and everything, and then he goes out, and then he has a whole revelation and everything, and he gets better, but it was a fucking moment, okay? I was holding my breath. If I didn't know he was gonna be in other season, I would have been incredibly, incredibly fucking worried. Anyways, the scars he's got on his face from a puma attack. Why was there a puma? Go watch the series. I can't remember. Anyways, he has a fight with one of the big cats of the jungle, and he gets awesome scars. However, he is essentially one of the criminals because I think he's tried to steal medicine for his mom, and that didn't actually end up happening. His mom got floated, I think. His dad got floated. Floated means they get exited out of an airlock in the ship and get executed. That's where Go Float Yourself comes from, actually. You've probably seen me say that at least once, somewhere. Go Float Yourself is a euphemism for go kill yourself. Yes. Haha. The PG version of it, because you can't... They actually say that as an exclamation. Go float yourself to each other sometimes. fun fact, that's the only way they can essentially say, kill yourself. Lamau, not the puma. I don't even fucking remember what happened or how he got that scar, but he did. Either way, he got into, like, his predicament by stealing medicine, I'm pretty sure. He's a little douchebag. But God, I don't even remember how it happens, but I know that at some point people form an angry mob and essentially try to lynch the guy in public in the camp, either for accidentally or purposefully killing someone else. Something happened and they're trying to kill him. I think even Bellamy was, like, for it, but also, Murphy also insulted his sister at a different point in time, I think completely unrelated, and Bellamy flips the fuck out on him. It's like, what did you say? What did you say about my sister? It was intense, and also just a little embarrassing for the guy, but you know, it's fine. But yeah, Murphy gets almost lynched, and essentially, I don't even know who, but I'm thinking it was Clark, who was like, stop it, in the name of the law, fuck off. And he doesn't die. Somehow. But you know, he's my little cockroach. He survives everything. Yada yada yada. I think he just kind of like leaves and it's like, fuck you guys for trying to kill me. Honestly real. Comes back at some point, has a whole revenge plan, and then gets Bellamy to almost hang himself with the seatbelts of the crashed fucking spaceship. An intense fucking scene where Bellamy stands up on a chair, thing in hand. There's like screenshots of that. There's entire gift sets of it where Murphy has this entire monologue that I can't fucking remember for the life of me, and Bellamy's just standing there with the seatbelt around his neck, waiting for the inevitable, trying to talk Murphy down. It is intense. It is amazing. I love it so much. He also gets a love interest later on, who was born in the desert and has like a hand deformation because she is also born with like, since everybody has like radiation poisoning and everything, like sometimes birth defects happen. Think of Fukushima, I think, like the entire like explosion of that atom whole thingy, you know what I mean. That one, a lot of people were born with deformations because of it in the vicinity. Anyways, they have a very wholesome relationship that does go on until I think the end of the series, and I think she dies, and that's the only reason why. Yeah, she dies, and that's the only reason why he gets super depressed again on the spaceship, and Bellamy has to like kind of like pep him up again, and is like, you can't like play the hero forever. Like they have a whole like fight, and it's like, if you can beat me, then you can say that about yourself. If you can't, you have to listen to me. It's cute. How Bellamy, like, really tries to get, Murphy to be, like, okay again. God, and his entire relationship with Raven is also such a fucking train wreck, but it's a glorious train wreck, okay? I think, God, I don't even know which way around. Oh, yeah, right. So, he actually, I don't even know if he's the reason, if he actively did it, or how it happened in the first place. But, he is in some way responsible for the fact that Raven Reyes, one of the characters who is an engineer, who's like one of their most important assets, by the way, since they need a lot of engineered things on the ground, but whatever, that she breaks her leg and can probably never use it again. She's running around with a brace for the rest of the series, I think. At least most of it. He is the reason for that. And they have a whole, like, falling out and getting, like, back together, but, like, in a platonic way, even though a lot of people ship them. Mervyn is a big name next to Bellark. Raven is another character on its own, like, on her own. Like, she literally fucking ended her life by drowning and then actually resurrected herself in a timely manner to then fucking like the fucking like shocked her heart back into life by herself. There was nobody there. She did that all on her own. She's an amazing character as well. Not on this list because I don't feel as strongly about her as I do about Clark and Bellamy and this guy. But yeah, like, he has a great, like, story arc in terms of he just gets better. I promise he does. And he has, like, this entire, like, scene of, like, I'm sorry that, you know, I did that to you, and by that, you know, to Raven, he means that he was kind of sort of maybe responsible for breaking her leg indefinitely. Because, like, she was, like, up on a telephone pole. Like, she can't climb anywhere anymore. It's very annoying for her. And very devastating, too. And, she just goes, oh, you know this isn't your fault, right? And it's a very heartfelt moment. It's great. We love it. We love a heartfelt moment. It's great. But, yeah, like, he starts out as an asshole, and so does Bellamy. But they both get better, you know? But yeah, love how you whispered that. You wanna know how I got these scars? Well, Puma. Truly. Anyways, he is, yeah, he is the first candidate for hot and vaguely problematic. Because he is. He almost killed a lot of people. He did kill a bunch, but, like, unrelated, you know? Mostly unrelated to the people he's with. But yeah, I think that concludes our people of the 100. But yeah, I think this is like, we're moving into one or two things, three, that you might know from me having talked about it endlessly. Number one, this guy. Hobie Brown, aka Spider-Punk, aka Spider-Man of the universe. Fuck me if I know. I don't even fucking know. I don't even remember the number. But, like, the one where it's, like, Old England and where Eddie... someone is Venom and also the Overlord. And I have a patch right over there where he says, "This ain't even Max, pal," and then decapitates the president. We love this guy. We love him so much. Oh my god, this guy. No way. Hobby. No. But great effort. Hope 6. Hope 6. We love Hope 6. Hobie. Yes. Fucking, I made an entire shirt for this guy that is essentially just band merch for his band. Out of an old work shirt, because I thought it was kind of ironic that I was using an old work shirt when he was, like, especially anti-capitalism, to make merch for his band. So it's like, haha, fuck authority. It's great, it's great. But yeah, it hangs in my closet. It's one of my most cherished pieces of items of clothing. It's great. It has, like, his, like, logo on the front, like, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which, like, in the center of his, like, okay, so, like, he has a little guitar chip that he plays with, and on it is his little logo of, like, a hand-drawn spider with, like, very blocky, like, feetsies, and in the middle is, like, a cross-section, and it says Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, or in your direction, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man? I don't know if it's mirrored, but you'll see. You know what I mean. Like, it's in the right way around. And he is a great guy. God, I need a little bit to actually get the details back. God, it's been a while. I also need to drink something, because I'm getting a little lightheaded from talking so much and not having enough to drink. So, just excuse me for a second. Great guy. Trying to remember the beginning of the movie so I can accurately, like, describe to you. Fucking, I mean, he doesn't show up a whole lot, unfortunately. I hope he gets more screen time in the second movie. But he kind of acts like, a second kind of guide to Miles in the books, in the movies. So like Miles, you know, main protagonist, if you didn't know, this is Into the Spider-Verse, aka Across the Spider-Verse, so the second movie. This is the only movie where he shows up so far. He will be in the third movie that's gonna come out either 25 or 26. I don't know. They've got all the time in the world. Please don't rush the artists. They deserve all of the time to make this masterpiece as good as they can. He acts as a second mentor figure for Miles. Whilst in the first book, the Peter Parker of the parallel universe was Miles's mentor and was kind of like very, I mean, also unconventional, but also very much like system oriented. Like, he was a retired Spider-Man. He wasn't really doing that much. And this Spider-Man is still active. And not only active, but also very anti-establishment. So we have very opposing forces. So we have Peter Parker #1, who is, well, #2 technically, whatever. Who's like, I think like the OG, whatever. I don't know. In juxtaposition to this Spider-Man, who is like exactly like the opposite of that other guy. Like, sure, they both help people, but that's the mantle of Spider-Man. What is their main difference? It's like just kind of, he's very anti-establishment. He's very much anti-authority. He doesn't technically want to even be a big figure in that sense. From what I've understood. Please correct me if I'm wrong. This is a lot I don't know about this character. He's also very, like, punk rock kind of situation. He's just cool. A very, like, how to describe it? I shouldn't probably be the one to comment on the fact that he's, from what I've heard, just repeating sentences, like, from the Black community, a very, like, well-praised character for the punk community, especially the punk community that essentially created punk, which a lot of, like, the fashion icons were Black people. So him being, like, an Englishman, but also, God, he has an accent that's, like, very specific. But I forgot which type it was. But he also, his voice actor is one of the people who also played in Black Panther, which is also one of my favorite movies of the Marvel Universe. I have the DVD right over there. Great guy, great voice actor. He does a really good job, voicing Hobie. Very funny, too. Like, his quibs everywhere, like, very, very funny. As a character, I find him incredibly cool and very, very funny. I've done plenty of fan arts of him with like the schedule arts. We also have a prime example piece. I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna see if I can turn you around because it's like right there on the wall. A piece made by Zeke, which has me with my streak still intact, and Hobie, which the printer actually made the colors incredibly dark. It is way more balanced in the artwork that Zeke sent me, and I was I'm very grateful about the fact that I was able to use that as a schedule art. So if you want to look at that, you can scroll up in the schedules on the Discord and can see it in full color and wonderful composition. Hehe. It was my background for so long. I mean, currently it is TD, as I like to say it. I can't show you that, sorry. That is in fact my location. It's this, currently. It's the Kiss of the Sphinx, which has a little bit of titty. And we also have this as my main phone screen. So currently, no characters, only artworks. Can't wait for more of him in the third one, for sure. He is gonna be a great, like, a great character for the third movie. Being like the only person who really truly like supported Miles from the beginning, because even Gwen was kind of like Pavi, Pavtir? No, that was very bad. Pav, the Indian Spider-Man, from Mumbattan, which I think is a very, very cute wordplay. But Pav wasn't even there. I think only has a visitor's pass and not a permanent pass like Hope and Gwen have for the Spider Hub. And also a new member and everything, so he wasn't in the crowd of people who were chasing after Miles in, like, the midst of the movie with Miguel. Paftir, yeah, I can't, like, there's a way to pronounce it that is correct, and I will not be able to do it correctly, so you just have to imagine the name to be said correctly. Beautiful illustration is always exactly. Oh yeah, I had an art history class about that one. Yay. Yeah, good pieces. I really like them. One of them is inspired by a picture I found which has the quote, "I guess any thrill will do," which is the Kiss of the Sphinx one. And I was like, I have to have that one as my background. And I had it as my, like, background on the PC for a while until I switched it to my phone. But yes. Like, he was one of the only people who, when the chase started, was like, oh, for the record, I quit. Leaves the entire establishment while, Miles gets chased. So, like, he is completely excluding himself from the situation, and excluding himself from the chase, and excluding himself from being against Miles. He was very much supportive of his very out-of-the-box ideals, and out of, like, also just supportive of Miles being like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on, and, like, criticizing the establishment and criticizing the way of, like, what is canon, what is not canon. Like, he was very in support of that, and I think it's really cute, well, not cute, but, like, really fun to see that and to experience that, and to have a character who's very much like this anti-establishment person in an establishment that he's kind of only in there for Gwen, and because of Gwen, to support her. Otherwise, I think he would have left a while ago. But, oh god, I really just do like his character and the way that he exists, and the way he portrays himself, his entire, like, animation style being completely unique to him, having him animated on 2s and 3s, and switching it around, switching his guitar around, having different animation styles and sequences, and having him very much be, like, very collage themed, since he's from a from a universe where that is very much the style of things, where he's very much incredibly jumped straight out of a comic book style. He's very two-toned, he's very much printed in that way. It's a very unique art style, which is so cool, and having him also have very much, like, a lot of natural hair, and, god, what are they called? They're not called locks. They're called... also not dreads, thank you very much. They're called something, and I forgot about it. It's been too long. I knew that at some point. It was very much a challenge, and a very fun challenge to draw his hair in the natural state that it is in. It was very fun. But yeah, like, a lot of fun to also have motivation to draw a lot of more people of color when I was drawing a lot of fan art of him and the other people of the movie, you know, irrelevant people. Joking. Because previously I didn't have a lot of motivation to go out of my little bubble of box, because previously I haven't really branched out that much, because I've just been doing stuff for, like, specific things, and didn't really branch out and, like, expanding my art still and expertise. But having a character that I really like be a person of color really does make you go out of the box on purpose, out of your little tiny comfort box, which is like, oh yeah, I can draw him, I can do that. And it was a really fun challenge to do that, and I did improve over time, which is really fun. Either way, great character. I do like him a lot. He's not problematic. He goes up here somewhere. I think mostly just hold gently. Wait, I can put you all the way over there. All the way over there. Next to my Roman Empire, of course. Put you there. Yay! There he is. Valid placement. Alright. So, moving on Now, this guy. Is he really a Blorbo? I wouldn't necessarily say so anymore. However, he was at the time, and there exists enough fan arts where I'm like, okay, you know, this works. Since I still have stuff on my Twitter timeline about this guy, so I would say it's demoted. Substantial enough to count. So this is Lieutenant Ghost from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 remastered or remaked. Yeah, I mean, I liked him enough to purchase a 3D render of his mask, painted on stream, and even completely create, sorry, that motion sensor, a magnetized mask that I mean, this is a version of his mask. This is the one he wears at the end scene. This one is the one with the stripes. It's different, I know. It's completely magnetized. It snaps to this one right here with snaps, so you can wear it together and not have to sew it on. So we have this one. Come on. Go in. Don't tell me you're the wrong one. There we go. We have mask. Two-parter. It's great. I'm very proud of it. It was a lot of fun doing that. The stream still exists, so if you're curious about this one, go look at it. It's great. Also terrifying. But yeah, it's a very fun mask. I'm still very proud of it, of painting it the way that I did. Because it's the first time I actually painted like something like really 3D to try and be like realistic about it. So I'm pretty proud of it. I do like it a lot. It's also just completely gray from the inside, so that's fun. But yeah, it was a lot of fun making this one. And also making the mask magnetized and everything. It was a lot of fun. Also, why are you outside of the thing? I don't even remember. Oh, fuck. What the fuck? Oh yeah, that's why. Why ever the fuck I have more magnets here is a great question that I will not answer you. Sorry. I don't know. Get away from here. You will go over here and over there. So if I have any need for you, I will be able to have that. Can I just hang you back there? Yes. Okay. You will hang here. You will hang out there. That's fine. Anyways, I actually don't have a lot to say about this guy. I just really liked him for the gruff voice, the mask, and the killing. I think that's, you know, he is in the army. I don't like the army. I don't like the army at all. He's a fictional character. That's the only excuse he has. Otherwise, he would be in the bin. He's just a very cool character. I like his, like, he's just kind of like in the corner of people that I enjoy, of like stoic, silent, and kind of like me having this intense determination to try and get them to like me. It's, I think, just the challenge of it which entices me. That's all there is to it, I think. So I think he's also one of the candidates for Morbid Fascination, I must say. Also, currently are only 2 light crop pixels. I'm just gonna make you smaller. There you go. You will go. Well, or hot and vaguely problematic makes more sense, I think. Morbid Fascination isn't that much of it, but yeah, I did make a OC self-insert fanfiction thingy about a medic who's like, haha, I'm now your personal medic person, and I wrote an entire 7K word fic about how she almost dies, and he's like, oh my god, don't die on me, bitch. He doesn't say bitch, of course not, but like, I did that. I'm incredibly proud of the writing. You will never get to see it. Sorry, goodbye. But I'm incredibly proud of it. I do reminisce about it a lot. It is great. I wish I, like, finished it, but the energy just wasn't there. So at some point... don't die, you're so sexy. Have you ever seen the Game of Thrones video where he broke down everything you did in Modern Warfare 3 OG and established that Price was an actual war criminal? The Game Theory, not Game of Thrones. I haven't seen that one, but I can truly imagine Price to be a war criminal. Especially in 3. So... yeah. My brain rot infected you. Yes, I just see GT and it's like, ah yes, Game of Thrones. Anyways. Ghost, I do not have a lot to say about you. You have a great story, don't get me wrong, but the reason why I like you is simple. Anyways, I think I'm gonna skip you because you're not that much of a blurbo anymore, so I'm gonna leave. Vampire guy. I don't even know. I think he's also in the same kind of category of Ghost in that way. He's an incredibly fascinating character, an incredibly cool character. He's also voiced by Neil Newbin, which makes me incredibly biased towards liking him a lot because Neil Newbin is an awesome dude. Of whom I've watched many a stream because he also voices several characters in other games that I've enjoyed. He voices Kamsky and Gavin Reed in Detroit Become Human. He voices Nikolai and Nemesis in Resident Evil 3. He voices Asterion here. He also voices someone else. He does amazing creature work, which he also does as Nemesis. He's a mocap actor. A great one is at that. He's really good. Heisenberg. There we go. Heisenberg in Resident Evil 8. Fantastic performance. A lot of great, like, inspiration as an actor. Like, he's really, really good at what he does. I think Heisenberg was what initially drew me to him because he just did an awesome job at acting as Heisenberg. I was like, oh hey, I know you from this, I know you from that, I know you from this. I watched a lot of his Twitch streams a while back while Baldur's Gate 3 was still in production, but like in the final works, I think. But yeah, 3 has him storm a hotel just to get to Makarov on the top floor. That was the original story, not in the reboot. He went rogue, I know. Yeah, he has a lot of great story, mostly about, you know, escaping his former master, God, Cazador, there we go, the big vampire lord, the bad one, who he was a one of his subordinates. He led unsuspecting people into the lair of Cazador and thus became essentially Cazador's whore. But so were all of his other vampirelings. So there's that. But yeah, so he has an amazing story of also just kind of having his little revenge plot, being very self-sufficient, very much in the way of like, I can survive on my own, I don't technically need you, but this alliance could be beneficial to me. I will, however, be still ready to backstab you and backstab you if the need arises and stuff. Like, he's first an unlikely ally, but then turns around and gets better, and just learns to trust the Tav, the, you know, the person that you play as, or you don't, you know, whatever you do. It is an RPG with free choice, relatively free choice, which could go either way. But yeah, he is a very interesting character. He has a lot of great character interactions with a lot of the NPCs in the world as well. A lot of really, really, really great, just character story in general. I don't remember a lot of it because it's literally been ages since I've, like, actually watched it and played it and been in the story, for sure. But his entire thing of flirting with the Tav to the point of, like, literally just having sex with them, because that is the way he's lived so far. Have sex with them, have, like, seduce them, so you can stay and have, like, a meal in your belly, and potentially get rewards or just stay alive, which is a very interesting dynamic. Also reminds me a little bit, not a lot with the staying alive thingy, but a little bit of Aventurine. Vita and Zeike, you will know who I'm talking about, the new guy. I will not give you any more hints about that, but there's a little bit of underlying similarities between the two. I will not, however, tell you anymore because I know a little bit of spoilers because I've read fan fictions. Sorry. I know a little bit. I've seen the tweets. I've seen a lot of tweets. I've seen so many tweets, actually. So just little crumbs. Which aren't a lot at all, but, like, yeah. I've seen things, and he is interesting. They have some parallels, I would say. They have some parallels. But that's all I'll say. You'll see. I don't want to spoil it for you. So that's literally all I'll say, because otherwise I will go on about Aventurine, but I don't want to, because that will be spoilers, and I don't want you to leave. Either way, Asterion essentially fucks to survive, but he gets better. They had, like, if you do, like, I had a heart-to-heart with him about that at some point. There's moments, like, a lot of it is about consent, a lot of it's, like, his story is about your own sexuality as a thing, not as, like, a preference, but, like, how you use it, weaponize it, and do you even enjoy it? Do you disassociate out of it and everything? Like, there's a lot of things going on with it. Control, becoming a monster, being a vampire, needing blood to survive. It's all something that he's been battling with, that he's been having to live with or unlive with. Being under the word of his master, trying to escape his master, and now just running back into his clutches again, against his will, but also because he needs to survive, to get a chance at getting there, to interrupt the ritual, to try and get other people out, to save people, to get revenge. There's a lot with his character, and it's a great, like, storyline, and I do really, really enjoy his character as a concept. So I will put, this man has been on my For You page so much without even knowing his name or where he was from. He's from Baldur's Gate 3, and he is amazing. So I'll put you right here in, well, actually I can probably put you all the way over here. There's still some space for you, isn't there? Come on. Go over there. Right next to Hobie. Yippee! Also, you can probably, wait. Just move down a little bit so you're not so much hidden under the black bar. But yeah. There he is. Also, can I, where's Kazuha? You should shrink a little bit so there's, like, space. Like, my god. Whatever. I'll shrink it at some point. And there's not that many words needed. Saw a clip where you got him killed and bring him back, and he's like, "Fuck, you killed me." Yeah, all the anime boys and then the few men cracks me up. Yeah, that's real. That's that's so real. Feel free to ask me or Juno anything about Baldur's Gate 3 you'd be interested in. I know only because Internet and Juno has played a bunch. I have not played it to a close because at some point I just kind of, it has just become a lot and my interests have shifted. I might complete it at some point, but for now I've left it at like 46 episodes, so you have a lot of things to catch up on if you want to see. But yeah, we also have, are there gonna be any Honkai characters on the tier list? Probably more like at the end. For now, not really. But, you know, there will be many more episodes. I don't even know how long I'll still go. Maybe for another, like, 45 minutes, and then I'm kind of, like, all talked out, I think. But, I mean, we've made some progress. We've made one... Wait, I can just count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've made 7 progress, so that's good, right? That's crazy, because my friend kept pestering me about playing it. Well... Which one? Verhergedurg? Unsurprising, Verhergedurg. What the fuck is Verhergedurg? VRDUG. I don't know. What the fuck is Verdurg? What the fuck is Verdurg? Is that just a keyboard smash? Because it looks like it's something, but I don't know if it is. Please reveal to me your secret language, my guy. Stop reading my keys. Okay, it was because it was like you'd be interested in Verdurg. If you should ask me or do anything you'd be interested in. Ah, okay. That's the end of the sentence already. I thought Verdurg was an acronym for something else. I'm sorry. Defo key smash. I was like, that's a long ass acronym with weird letters in it. What is that? Verdurg. Sorry. I understand now. Don't worry. I know basic sentence structure. For sure. But yeah. God, we are barely making any progress into this list. I think we need like at least 2 or 3 more episodes at this point. However, wait, no, we need to go all the way up here. Him. I think we might be able to see patterns emerge out of what kind of characters I like. You might not see it. I do. I do see the patterns. Keith Cogane from Voltron, Legendary Voltron, the revamp, of course, as you can see by the quality of the animation. There's no animation, but this is a screen cap, and you can already see it's different from the one from 19 fucking whatever. The year 1900 something, like probably like 90, 80, somewhere around that time. I can't remember, buddy. I can't remember. There was a first like animation of it. This is the revamp, so yeah. Troublemaker extraordinaire. Hothead has the temper of nothing. There's no temper in this guy. There's no temper. He gets better a little bit, but like he's just one fighty guy, and I just do like that a lot about him. He's also just very. Is that even the same character? It might be the same voice actor. He's very like quiet, very much like I talk with my knife in your face, and not necessarily my words. A little bit emotionally constipated. We love to see it. Very black cat coded, of course. Very much like him and Lance have this whole rivalry thing going on, with Lance having more of a one-sided rivalry, while Keith is trying his best to kind of, like, build connections and bond with the guy when he's not very much susceptible to it. What do you mean? I'm unpredictable. What? Patterns? No, you don't say. But you don't worry me. Zekis and Algernon's are also very obvious. Yeah, mine are sometimes a little subtle. But oftentimes just very glaringly obvious, but also not that bad. Like, I think the most bad is like Kavinsky, and he's gonna go into morbid curiosity. He's gonna go down there because ain't no way I'm simping for that dude. Or I will also never hold him gently. That guy is the truest cockroach of them all. I promise. And he's also not vaguely problematic. He's the most problematic, I think. Well, I mean, the murder. There's a lot of murder on this list. But, like, he is one of the most problematic. Sorry to got out of subject, but Nora Skavix just submitted her new All Through the Game book as an ebook, so it should be available so soon. Hell yes. They're also on the list. There's also Neil Newman, fucking Neil Jostin is on the list. I forgot which team member was stabbed in the original and replaced by the princess. Shiro died for a while there and got replaced by the princess. So Keith was the Black Lion, Allura, the princess, was the Blue Lion, Lance was in the Red Lion, and Pidge and Hunk stayed the same. I'm so excited for Neil. Yes. I'm also very excited to introduce you to him, but it's gonna be a while because we gotta get through Inej, Nikolai, the Darkling, Kaz, Vax and Keyleth herself, and Percy himself, and then we get to Neil. So there's gonna be a lot of yapping still to go, and I think my brain is also already like shutting off a little bit, so I don't know how far we'll get. I might stop after Keith because then we go into like Shadow and Bone territory, and I kind of want to keep all of that into like one section and not like split them up because God forbid. Nice rooster. I love my little rooster. He does scream in the morning. Sorry. But yeah. We love Keith. Heard good things about the reboot, but also heard the ending was disappointing. Well, a lot of gay baiting happened, so a lot of people were kind of disappointed by that. I was okay with the ending as it is, but making Lance a by proxy Altean kind of was a weird choice, for sure. You know, it ended. Was it a good ending? Debatable. I didn't like that Allura had to go. But kind of unfortunate. Like, why? Just have an alien princess on call. That would be great, but no. I'll have to mute a bunch of them for spoilers, but it's good. Yeah, of course, that won't be for tonight. No, that's gonna take ages. Me talking about Inej and Kaz Brecker is gonna take so long. You won't believe. Because I've got a lot to say about them. But we are, you know, we're not there yet. We are still at Keith. Keith is just kind of funny, okay? Keith is a very, very funny character. I do love him a lot. For him being just as he is. Like, there's little I would change about him. His selflessness, he's just a very, like, God. He's a very complex character, I feel like. I also didn't finish rewatching the series, so there's definitely some holes here and there, but he does try. He's not very much of a team player. He loves to go out on his own. He's a little troublemaker. He gets himself into He gets himself through the entrance exam of the flight school, essentially, like the space school where he could go to become like a space pilot and like work with the company and everything. He gets through that by completing this video game, which is like really like comparatively very much like flying in space, like, and their little cockpits and everything. And he like fucking blasted through this video game because he's very talented, but because of his like temper issues and having behavioral issues and everything, the teacher is just like, nah, he can never go. Jesus. He could never manage. He would be... he wouldn't fit there. He wouldn't make it because he's just got so much like behavioral issues and everything. So he steals Shiro's bike. Shiro's there as like the examiner. So he steals Shiro's bike and like zooms off, and instead of getting reprimanded for it a lot, he actually gets a place at that like school to go there and become a fighter pilot and everything. So, well, not a fighter pilot, he just becomes a pilot there, or tries to. But since he is still very much a troublemaker, he gets into a lot of trouble. He just beats a few people up for, you know, being an orphan. Like, well, they bully him for being an orphan, and he beats them up for it. There you go. That's a better wording of that. But all that happens, by the way, in, like, season 5? 6? 5, 6, like, 4, 5, 6, somewhere there. We get flashbacks while, well, after he fights Shiro, which is also just, oh, God, a thing, man. He also finds out he's half Galra. Like, his mom was a Galra soldier from, like, the Galra are the evil aliens. Are the ones that turned evil. And, like, has to deal with that, having to deal with Allura, whose entire civilization was wiped out by that kind of alien. Just being with someone who's half of that. There's a lot of tension that suddenly gets built up after having this kind of like truce, like him being a little bit like of a hothead, but her like being okay with him, to her being immediately hostile towards him, not even mentioning him by name after figuring out that he's half Gauran, not even having known about that fact himself, by the way. But yeah, God, he was up, like, that was a piece of work for a while there. But he does, like, they do come around. There's, like, scenes where they actually just go out, the both of them, in, like, a ship, and, like, oh my God, we are probably the targets, so we have to go. But they're not the targets, and I have to go back. But, like, they have, like, a whole space excursion, which is really funny. Like, they have their moments. It's fun. They get, like, they make up again, so it's fun. It's fine. They're good. But God, yeah, he has such great moments everywhere. Like, I do love him a lot. He is a great character. That's what I'll say. He's a great character. Do watch Voltron, Legendary Defender. It's a great series. He's very funny. He's very exasperated a lot. Also has, at some point, like in this uniform, by the way, what he's wearing right now, he's with the Blade of Mamora, which is a rebellion of the same kind of Galra that he is. Like, he is this alien type, like half alien, and there are a rebellion who go against the evil Galra empire and are like, no, we don't want this, go back, don't do that. So the Blade of Mamora is a rebellion, like, outpost. And he helps them a lot on missions because he knows both, like, Voltron and he knows the Galra. So he's of great help. He's a really, really talented dude. He's very smart. He's very good at having a fighter pilot, like, license, sort of. Like, he's very good at what he does. So he helps on the missions. but also kind of neglects the team in that sense, like the Voltron team, and doesn't fly his Lion because he is the pilot of the Black Lion, because at some point Shiro disappears, he dies, and Keith is kind of just not there. He doesn't form Voltron with them, which is bad. So he kind of neglects it all for the missions, and then at some point he spends so much time with them that he actually just does a... adapt to their way of thinking, which is like the mission over everything, even your own life. Which in turn then means that he almost flies himself, kamikaze kind, into a force field with one of the stolen ships, which would have meant that he dies to turn off the shields around the big ship so they could get there better with their big attack. Last moment, he doesn't do it. But there's this one moment where he literally braces himself for impact before he, in the last minute, dodges the shield after figuring out that there is someone else who helps them. I think it might have even been Lotor. But it was an intense moment, like a really, really intense moment of almost dying, which is just... there's like a great edit about that. It was like, before I die, let me do something nice. Take my hand, I'll take you on a ride, which is, hits hard, with that scene, so great editing choice. So yeah, packed to the brim of angst, of course. What else? So yeah, he is also very much hold gently. I'll put you right there because I think that edge is already done, so yes. I don't think I can him. He's not, you know, he's not anywhere down there, but he does fit in the hold gently tier, so that's where he goes. I think, for now, my brain is trying to implode itself. I think at 7... Was it 7 or was it 8? At a lot of people, we will stop for now. There's gonna be many more episodes, so like, don't worry about it. We will get through the rest. There's like so many of them. You won't believe. We're not even a third in. Wrap your head around that one. Not even a third. But yeah. We have more people on the list. Please go rest. I gotta go get up at 4 AM tomorrow. I need to still place my alarm so I don't die. And it is 10 PM and I need to go to bed now. Because I am tired. Start, yeah, 4:15. Yeah, I've got 6 hours, so I gotta go to sleep, people. We do stand a series, for sure. But yeah, I gotta go. I gotta sleep. And I hope you had fun for me yapping about my favorite characters. My throat doesn't like me anymore because I talk too much and I don't drink enough. So I will go drink something, I will go eat something because I'm also very hungry. And then I'll go to bed because, you know, 6 hours isn't a lot. And I need to go work for, how long? 7 hours tomorrow. So I need to rest. Anyways, I hope... I hope it was fun still. I will see you guys tomorrow for the Sumo request, finally, part 1 of it. Part 1 of part 5, because I think that's gonna be a long one, and I don't know how long I've got energy for, so I might split it in the middle. I still need to find a good place to split it. I'll need to, like, write down where, at what, like, quest line it's a good place to stop. But yeah, part 2, this is part 2 already. That will be part 3. Like, of the Blurber list will be next week. Tomorrow, Sumeru is part 1 of chapter 5 of act 3 of the Sumeru quest. But yeah, waiting for part 3 in 10 minutes. Yes, exactly. Have a good meal and sleep tight. I will. But yeah, if you want to know anything about streams, anything about schedules, go join the Discord if you haven't already. It's a great place to find everything about me streaming and stuff. And any updates, any schedule changes, whatever, you'll find that there. You can also find me there because I'm often in there, as often as I can in my busy schedule. But yeah, I hope to see you then, and I will now leave you guys. I hope you had fun. I had fun. We'll see each other tomorrow maybe, or next week, whenever we'll see each other next.